Okay, so this is Hold Back the River by James Bay, and we're going to look at the first page of this one today. So we've got 16 bars rest. After 8 bars rest, the vocals come in, so we've got the Vox cue there. Section A, now the snare here will be a rim click, which I'll remind you how to do later on. We go through that one twice. At section B, we do the same as section A, but we're adding the bass drum every other bar. So bass drum in that bar, rest for that bar, and then bass drum in this bar, and rest for that bar. And we do that twice as well. We've got another 2 bars of that pattern to do before we go into C, which is where you're going to change your left hand position to the snare. And we do that 4 times around that line, so it's quite a long time. Then we're on to our next pattern, which is D. Now you'll notice that D, the hi-hats are moving in crotchets here and not quavers. So this is going to sound a bit more driving, and it gets a bit louder on the tune here. It builds up a bit. So that's quite a fun bit to play. And then letter E, we've got some more quavers here. Boom, ba, boom, boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, boom, ba. So you can be nice and loud on that bit too. Then we've got the breakdown at the bottom, so that's a crash cymbal, and you just let that ring on for the whole of that bar with some basses in here. Just watch your counting on this bit, and you'll see how it goes when I play it with the track in a minute. And then we've got 4 on the floor. We call this boom, 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 boom with the bass drum, just with that sort of heartbeat pattern going along. That takes us up to the end of the first page. So let's go over some of these rhythms. So section A, stick across rim, left stick goes in the middle palm in the middle of the snare drum, and then the bottom of the stick will be stuck on there, and you'll just levering it up from the top bit to make this clicking sound. So you might find it easier if you spread your fingers out to make that sound rather than curling them underneath, because they do get a bit stuck there. Okay, so that's our stick across rim. Just try that a couple of times and make sure our hand hasn't slid to the bottom with the stick as well. It doesn't sound quite as good there. That's the sound we want, okay? So, A goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to do that twice, so just have a practice of that first before we go on to the next section. Okay, and then when you're ready for section B, we're doing the same pattern with the hands but adding in the bass drum. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to do that line twice, plus an extra 2 bars, remember, on the next line. So at this point we'll reach C, so you'll move that left hand to do a normal snare note with the same pattern that you've just done. Bass drum this time happens every single bar. So this is C, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and there's one more note at the end that we need to add there. So after you've done the, we go for a T at the end. So this is C in completion this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you get lots of practice of that because you're doing it 4 times in a row. So just practice that slowly first. And then when you're ready to go on to the next section, this is D. So now the rhythm changes. We've got bass and hi-hat together, and then snare and hi-hat, and then at the end. So, and you do that for the whole line, and you do that 4 times in total. So, I'll just do it one time for you now, just so you can practice it. So here it goes. This is D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so again, just pause the video and practice that bit so you're happy with that. When you're ready to move on to E, then it goes back to bass and snare only here, so we've got some quavers going on as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. So just watch out for those 2 quaver bass drums in between there, they've got to be quite quick when you do that. So just practice that for the balance of the bass and snare. Then we've got one last bit to do, which is the line after E and before F. You've got a big crash there, you're going to let that ring. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it's all about counting the bass drums and the rests. And then when we get to F, it's bass drum on every single beat. So it's and so on. So you should be able to pick that bit up with the music. Let's go through the whole thing now, and then you can play along with the track as well and see how you get on with that. So we've got some rests to start here. 5, 6, 7, 8, and the vocals come in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Get that stick across the room. Here we go. So hopefully you followed along with that and got to the end of the page there. Practice all the sections slowly first, and then when you're happy with those you can add them to the track, but it is quite fast, so just take it slowly at first and build it up gradually.